Hello, friends, family, and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a new high-level game of StarCraft 2 between Dark and Special. Dark vs Special is a very interesting match for me, personally, as they played each other in the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2021, and then they played each other once again, the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2022 World Championships. Now, the 2021 series that they played against one another was a very interesting one. It basically had two games in which Special got a lead, but not just a regular lead, like a truly insane type of lead. The type of lead where it feels difficult to lose, but Dark managed to make the comeback in those games, both games. And that kind of showed two things for me. Number one, it showed that Special has an absolute mastery of the early to mid game in the TVZ matchup. That he is creative with his build orders, has a lot of innovation there, and just understands all these early game interactions extremely well. The second thing that it showed me is that Dark has that same thing, but mainly in the late game, or at least back then, mainly in the late game. He was playing some odd roach openers and trying to get to lurkers as fast as possible, because that's where he felt most comfortable. Nowadays, Dark has kind of changed that early game into a more Ling-focused style. Quicker double evos, he likes even rushing out Baneling speed with a layer before evo. So he has these different openers, but still going into that same dangerous late game. The question for this game then can only be, will Special be able to once again create such a large lead for himself, or has Dark improved enough in the early game that it's going to be a big uphill battle here for the Mexican Terran player. Spawning in the bottom left, of course, opening up with a Reaper first and an SCV Scout, making sure that he isn't getting tricked here in the early game. We'll have to wait and see what he's planning on doing. It could be a lot of different things. Most likely will be with a second gas. Yeah, there we see it go down. This is the trademark Special move. Special is a player that loves getting these fast second gases. It allows more aggressive openers rather than the triple CC that we see a lot of other Terran players play often. It's kind of funny because in Korea it goes back and forth between these two openers. Sometimes I see Maru open up triple CC 5 times in a best of 5. Other times I see him open up with 2 gas openers 5 times in a best of 5. And it's kind of the personal preference. It's hard to say what is best. It is obvious to me, however, that if you want to trick your opponent, if you want to introduce something new onto the battlefield, that opening up with 2 gas is definitely the preferred option. And I also think that if you feel less comfortable against a certain player, either because you're worse or if you're a lot better, so for like a safety play, I think 2 gas can be very good, but also as a way to kind of get a lead where usually you wouldn't get it in a normal triple CC opener. I like this opener in general. Yeah. We have some Marines being produced here. Second factory. Okay, so we're immediately jumping into some shenanigans right now. Second factory will allow for a tech lab on this, as well as the pre-infernal igniter, which is also known as the blue flame Hellion, as the Hellions get, well, blue flames. The Marines will need to keep this a secret. That could be tricky. There is one Overlord here that's severely damaged. The one on the left is still kind of open. And as long as that isn't planning on going in, I guess this will remain hidden. Ooh, it's a Cyclone. Okay, we're seeing a 2-base... Hello. Okay, does manage to deny the scout. We're seeing a 2-base Hellion Cyclone. I'm not sure if it's not really an all-in. It's more of a push. A push in the right direction. And so far, we only see 4 cars on the map. Now, it's important here for Special to not show this Cyclone to the world, right? This is probably the most important thing that there is. These 2 Hellions staying at home will once again deny a scout. I'm surprised that this Overlord is not going in. This Overlord is absolutely in charge of the scouting on the left side and needs to start getting in position to do that. Should have sent in the second Overlord at the same time as the first. I mean, this bad boy is just going to straight up die. That is clear as day to me. Same time, we have these 4 Hellions still moving in. It's important that these Hellions don't die. Ooh, you have a Nidus Network opener. This is a Nidus Network opener without a Roach Warren. This is the worst case scenario for Dark, I think. I mean, it's going to be Blue Flame Hellions against against pure Ling Queen. The Cyclones are going to definitely help against the Queen as well. This is going to be really weird though, because Dark will try to get the Nidus up in the main base. There's no spotting on that far left, and at the same time, Special will be attacking. Now the question is, will this Nidus be used as an harassment tool, sending in like 10 links or so? Or is Dark just going to defend at home? I think it's going to be used as a bit of a defensive tool. I'm surprised to not have a depot here on the top side. Cyclones are putting in the work against these Queens. There's a lot of links out already, but these Blue Flame Hellions are doing some big work. Armory not done, which means that there's no Hellbats here right now, but the Queens are still falling. Nidus Network finishes up as the links enter the main base. There's 3 Marines, 2 Hellions and 1 Cyclone at home, however. SCVs get pulled, we will start losing the fight against these links. More links being sent back, Cyclones getting taken out, but the Hellions dealing a lot of damage here. Links have been going down for a long time and will continue to go down against this Hellion opening, but Dark managed to survive to a Roach Warren and now has that Roach production here. And with that Roach production, he should be able to somewhat stabilize. There is a 3rd command center done. The worker count is in favor of Special. So similar to last year, once again Special is opening up with an opener here. That's just going to put him in a bit of a lead. I mean, he has the Blue Flame Hellion already. He's even supply with mech, even eco. There's no fort base 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Zerg is still working off of 2 gases. Like, this is a nightmare scenario here for Dark, with a fantastic start once again out of Special. Special wanted to go for a push and kind of walked into an all-in, but still was fine. And here comes the follow-up. Now, I like this scan, and this scan, I think, should reveal that these Hellbats don't really want to continue. And I don't think that Special wants to continue with these Hellbats. Hellbats are starting to move off creep right now. A bunch will get taken out, though, in the retreat as Cyclones try and get a connection on some of these Roaches. Only 1 Cyclone is really dealing a lot of damage. 1 Roach will fall. That wasn't the greatest trade here for Special. 8 Overlords on the way. What is Dark doing right now? This is highly surprising. 8 Overlords? He has plenty of supply, and it's not like he wants to get a big round of units in. No, he wants to be getting drones. He's down 6 workers right now. Special in a fantastic position here. Starts floating his barracks and actually getting mines as well. What is he afraid of? Who hurt you, Special, my friend? Who has done this damage? This mental damage that you want to build some mines at this point. Is he afraid of Mutas? What is he afraid of? Maybe just for some run-by, of course. It's a good run-by defense. Once the armories finish, you always need an overseer with every run-by. Tunneling Claws is going to be the answer here. As Dark is extremely far behind, he needs to get something going. 1-1's about to finish up already. Are there turrets on the way? Is there an eBay? There is no eBay quite yet. Now, that could be changed very quickly. Don't forget that when Roaches get the Tunneling Claws upgrade, their aesthetic changes as well. So we see these little... Stand still, you idiot Roach. No one wants to see you move. Good lord, why can't I follow this? Okay, so... But these Roaches are just gonna die, actually. So let's not focus too much on them. I'll explain this later, after this fort base maybe gets cancelled. Is that a possibility? No, I think there's slightly too many Roaches, actually. Triple Hellion moving here towards the right side. Evo block is slightly too slow. 6 workers go down immediately. Now... This is a big deal. This actually is a really big deal. Every single worker that dies is huge. Special is up 15 workers. Is that Tunneling Claws about to finish up? Yeah. Let's just take a look at the Roach and then you guys can see it for yourself. As it's going to be pretty obvious. It's these spikes that we're looking at. And they will get the color like a very fluorescent blue. Because Dark is playing with blue. 3, 2, 1. Oh, he burrowed them so fast. But yeah, you can kind of see the spikes. Absolute prick. They turn a fluorescent blue, and it's really, really obvious. I think that Special is aware of this. He's not building any turrets yet. He's some slide. He has insane oversaturation right now. Let's take a look at Special's first-person view. Gets a scan in. And he needs to see these Roaches at some point. It's important for Dark to try and hide it. I think Special hasn't quite dragged his screen. Okay, now he sees it. Now this should be clean. He should know right now. He's like, hey, wait a second. What's going on? What's going on? And immediately he sees a Roach as well. So kind of the same time he realizes what was happening, the Roaches also arrived. But it's just a single Roach per base. The Roaches went down against the tanks. Honestly, this was not great here for Dark. I'm not going to be lying about that. Dark is still very far behind. He's now following this up with Swarm Host. I think this is a genuinely quite a good call to make. There's no air units to stop Niduses. There are no air units to stop the Swarm Host either. Usually when you play mech, of course, you have battle cruisers, but that is not quite the case here. The follow-up instead is going to... Oh my god. Special has some tricks up his sleeve. Double starport, hyperflight rotor motors, Banshees. Now this depot is not quite going to see the Nidus network. These Hellions are moving in. It's so funny, the Hellions move in, are like, oh, let's get a barbecue going. But there's no meat whatsoever. There's almost no workers. 60 workers currently out for dark. Down 24 workers. Now this swarm host little push needs to deal a lot of damage. This is not the type of swarm host that force a CC to lift and then kill a refinery. No, these swarm hosts need to take out a mineral line. Special is just a bit too fast, so even unsieges these tanks. The rest of the army shows up. One tank will get taken out, but really this is not the end of the world. Good defense so far. Sensor tower will be able to spot the fact that there is something here, and the Cyclone will move into position. These 4 Hellions once again going to a base without any workers. The next few drones are coming in though, and will go down. Now you could say losing 5 Hellions for 7 drones isn't great, but at the same time Special has so much income that taking out any eco of his opponent while you're still mining that much yourself is actually kind of nice. I like the way that that Dark is using these burrowed links, by the way, to just kind of pop out Niduses. That's really, really cool to see. That actually is kind of cool to see. Nidus network gets sniped immediately though, so absolutely no chance. Did he scan this or did the Lingham burrow? Oh, maybe with the Hellion splash it got taken out. Also a possibility, of course. There's lots of vision here on the map for Dark. A little less vision for our good friend Special. Special probably not aware that the Nidus is going down here. Yep, now he is though. Rocks get taken out as well. Tanks are in a fairly defensive position in this middle area. So another Nidus goes down on the far right side. Cyclone's trying to move into position. Banshee count currently at 3, and I think Special wants to save up to, well, maybe 5 or 6. Saving up a fair amount here. It's kind of wild. We need a lift. We definitely do need a lift here. Oh, now these Banshees start jumping into action. Can't get caught here by the Ravager Biles. Actually, some do get a hit. There's almost no creep for these Ravagers to walk back to. Not the greatest control on the Banshees, but there are things happening on the map, so it is understandable. We have 3 Vipers on the way. 5th Banshee also popping out soon. The 5th base has finished up for Special. Dark still fighting with 58 drones. This means that any time he loses a unit, it's going to be very difficult to replace. But every single time he has a big fight... Oh, this is a good fight, I think, for Special. Every time a big fight happens, he doesn't really have the ability to kind of rebuild. A couple of Biles are going to rain down on these tanks. Everything gets sieged up on the same spot. It feels like these Banshees aren't really getting controlled separately from the main army. Everything just flying at once. While these Banshees often have the ability to just deal more extra damage. Tanks should be sieging up right now. Not all at the same clump. You can hit 3 tanks with a single Bile volley. Look at this. If Dark gets in position, this could be very dangerous. A lot of these tanks go down because of Splash. Oh no, Special once again wants to siege them up. Is going to get biled massively here. As the Cyclones are moving forward. What are these Banshees doing? Banshees not attacking whatsoever either. And this army is just going to get cleaned up. Absolutely destroyed. This is one of the most one-sided fights. Vipers weren't even present yet, but holy cow. Overall resources lost now in... Well, yeah, slightly in favor of Dark, with a pure Ravager Roach army against a maxed out mech army with 3-2 upgrades this was. Well, that was painful to say the least. The Nidus network does go down, these swarm hosts start popping out. Of course, +3 range attack is on the way right now. How many swarm hosts are there? There's 14 swarm hosts. These bad boys will throw the Locust Wave towards this planetary, and planetaries are great, but against Locust Waves, sometimes you wish you had something else. Cyclones trying to lock onto these Locusts, but of course not enough Cyclones to really deal with every single Locust. These Locusts now try to land. This actually is a very solid defense. I was afraid for this planetary, but I was absolutely mistaken. Good splits on these Banshees though will allow Special to keep at least 1 or 2 alive. These Banshees are useful tools in dealing with Niduses. We see a single Corruptor being built to deal with them Banshees. I do really like that. 5th base is now on the way for Dark, who is stuck on... Well, stuck. He's going up to 6 gas. No, sorry. 6 gas. 10 gas. 66 workers. This Corruptor is going to make short work of this single Banshee. Still a fine and playable position here for Special, but the transition to Ghost should be here soon. He's currently on 8 factories, and indeed we have the Ghost Academy, the double barracks. This is the perfect timing as well. You have that good mech infrastructure, you have a high worker count. I wouldn't have minded if we saw a couple of extra command centers as well. It looks like Special wants to push out one more time. One more time. So these 2 Banshees should be capable of actually doing something for once in their useless life. Get 1 worker and damage a spine crawler. Okay, maybe not quite what I was hoping for. At the same time though, this is a big Cyclone army that's moving forward. If they tag on to this base, I think that's a dead base. There's only a single tank with this. There's a couple of tanks here kind of going back, and this base definitely will fall. 10 drones also going down. This single Helmet is dealing a lot of damage. This is the push that I really like here out of Special. Special should not get too aggressive now or too trigger happy. I think he can play this slow. He's still up in bases. Once again, all these tanks kind of sieging on the same location. Needs to be real careful with that. Of course, with Vipers as well, Blinding Cloud is a powerful tool. We see these Ravagers moving towards the bottom side. Can we get a scan? Can we get a scan? Oh, we have a couple of scans. That's 1 Viper that's going to go down. Double Blinding Cloud. All of these tanks will get taken out, disabled, except this one lone tanky boy. This, however, is still an okay trade here for Special, and it's actually the best trade that he has had so far in this game with these maxed armies. Still, it wasn't a good trade, but I think it was better than that last one. It does look like it's out of position, no? I think it still is out of position. He just lifted. I wanted to do this. Wrong hotkey happens to the best, guys. Don't shoot me for that. This looks out of position, very much so. Yeah, this is not correct. And he also noticed it, and then he lifted it back in the same spot. No, this is definitely incorrect. So that's going to actually deny him his mineral counter a little bit. I think this base must have died against Swarmos while I was watching the main fight, by the way. So let's not forget there were no Locusts in that fight. Dark is still alive, but he's down in supply. He's still massively down in income as well. These Locusts could change that. A couple of SCVs go down. Mules get landed in front of the Locust. That is usually not correct. 1 mule will make it out alive and 10 workers go down. This knight is going to get taken up by the Hellbats as the Smart Servals has finished right now. And Ghosts are actually going to be a complete game changer in this game, because sniping Ravagers is not only very satisfying, but it's also a good business move usually. That's the type of trade that you want to be taking. And there's no taxes on that, well, except the energy. So it's, yeah, it's something that I definitely would recommend here. Even getting a Raven for spotting any type of burrowed infestors. And of course, not just for that, but also for having the anti-armor missile, which does deny 2 armor upgrades. Wait, is this +2 carapace? I thought that had finished already. Holy crap. Darks has some poor upgrades. He has a bad situation overall. These mules are long distance mining. What am I looking at? Still, the CC count is relatively low. 11 workers go down here. And Special is starting to feel a little bit more all-in than he was before. We're not seeing a lift on this CC either. Command center gets taken out, and it's a little bit painful here. Raven moving forward. We see a couple of scans go down. This is the Terran automatic mode. It's like, hey, I have a Raven. I don't actually need too many scans. Of course, it's nice still to have some type of scans. Special does need to be very careful here, because these lurking... But oh, they don't have neural. Oh, what? I think that's a mistake here. That is a failure out of Dark, and he should realize soon that he still needs neural. But yeah, okay, here we go. He's like, oh crap, I don't have neural yet. This is really scary. 79 seconds away from finishing, and this push is already on your doorstep. Here comes the move in. EMPs, all hitting. Tanks are well spread as well. Thor's kind of getting caught out. Tanks can start leapfrogging forward. At the same time, these 4 roaches are dealing with this left side base. And Special once again is going to try to move forward. 2 Cyclones taking out the creep. Ghost, don't want to get connected. Oh, hello, Ghost. Ooh, EMPs barely miss. Snipes on these Vipers not going to be possible anymore. Once again, we have all these tanks in the exact same position. That means they defend each other easily, but they also can get blinding clouded very easily. Complete unsiege here. Out of Special, who wants to keep pushing forward. Neural Parasite is getting closer, but the next Locust wave also probably is going to be on the way. Anti-armor missile is a possibility on the right side of the army. These Locusts will connect with, well, some of the tanks. Actually, this was a Good move here out of special. This setup looks very powerful as well. There's 2 EMPs remaining. As man, that was a absolutely huge scan there. Making sure that he saw everything. The 3 tanks in the back, I wouldn't mind if they move forward. 17 workers have gone down on the side of special against these 4 roaches. 9 drones go down on the side of dark. We have a parasitic bomb going down right now, as well as 2 auto turrets. As this Raven is about to bite the dust. Tank's not in defensive position. Dark decides to go for a full-on base trade while staying at home with the Locust. So the Locust Wave provides free value at home, and this Ravager army provides value on the other side of the map. Special decides to go back home. These tanks might just get caught though. 11 mutas on the way. Are there any Thors remaining? I think the answer is no. What a switch here in the late. Oh, there is 2 Thors. They're really low though. Oh, this Ghost is going to dodge the bile. Army supplies 130 against 88. With these mutas coming in though, I'm starting to get real afraid. There's only 2 Thors. There is 11 mutas. Don't forget, we still have these neural parasites as well. Do these mutas just go across the map? 18 mutas. I thought it was just 11. 18 mutalists. Okay, I think he can just actually fight this. I actually believe he can just fight this, but Dark has a different idea about it. No, he doesn't. Or does he? No, he doesn't. Here we go, Mutalist moving in right now. Blinding Cloud on top of that Thor. First Thor gets taken out. Second Thor gets taken out. Cyclone is dead. There is no more anti-air remaining. Neural Parasites come into play and the Locust Wave. It is a triple attack here out of Dark on this army, and Dark will manage to get this game after once again, for a 2nd year straight, being in a terrible position, but just staying alive, making sure he doesn't die, and eventually gets the winner. 21-minute game on Hardwire. Fantastic gameplay, great opener out of special as well. And that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.